Doing good, man. Had a good week.
Hey, it's been a great week, man. It's been a great week, and we've been trying to get back on here for a while, huh? Get back together for a while.
For a minute, you know what I'm saying? Hey, do me a favor. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, man. Thumbs up the video, and just type in the comments, man, whatever y'all think about our podcast so far, man.
Yep, we're on episode 10 of our sports talk show now.
Yeah.
Episode 10, man. We started this thing a few months back, and now we're at episode 10 of the first season. We're going to come back with season 2 and just upgrade to another level.
Yeah.
So, man, it's been a pleasure to do it, you know, with you this season and take care of business this season.
Keep moving forward.
Right. Get those foundations down. You check out that Super Bowl this week?
Hey, you know I did, man.
Hey, we got some stuff to talk with y'all about. We got to get into the Super Bowl, definitely. There's definitely some NBA trade talk that's been going on that we got to get into. We got the All-Star game going on this weekend, and dunk contest and all those type of things. So we got a lot going on. We got a lot going on in the sports talk arena, sports talk show world right now. So what's happening, Jonathan?
Hey, there's a lot going on in sports. Hey, but first off, let's get this trivia going.
Trivia. Let's knock out the trivia.
Time,
I got you last time, right? I had you last time, right?
Stop.
And now it's on you. Okay.
Yeah.
So trivia time. That's another thing that they could definitely put in the comments is
Let
trivia
us,
questions.
Yeah. Let us know what you want for trivia questions.
Yeah, good trivia questions would always be a good
what
thing.
You want it about.
Recommendations. All right. What's the trivia, Jonathan? I'm gonna knock it out. Let's good.
Starting off, man. The first one. How many losses does Tom Brady have in the Super Bowl?
Oh wow. I know he has multiple losses. Is it 2, 3, 4, or 5? I don't know. He's won 6. I say he's been there. How many losses does Tom Brady have in the Super Bowl? I'm gonna say 3.
3? That's correct.
3?
That's
Okay.
correct.
3. Wow.
You got it.
Yeah, he's lost some and won 6, right?
He's won 8.
He's won 8?
Yeah.
He hasn't won 8 Super Bowls. He's won 8 Super Bowls? Really?
He's won 8.
That's insane. They say people don't even win 2. They say if you get there, just enjoy it. He's lost more than many people have even been to.
He's been to a lot.
Hey, I thought he had won like 6. I thought he was like at that Jordan number. 6 chips.
6?
He's at 8. Wow.
Hey. Alright, second one. Who has the most rebounds in the NBA Finals? Or in the NBA, my bad.
In the NBA?
Yes.
Or NBA Finals?
In the NBA.
Of all time? Oh, wow. The most rebounds?
You want 3 people? I can give you.
No. I think I know who it is, but I don't know. I wanted to say Dennis Rodman, but he didn't play long enough. I want to say, is it Bill Russell?
Bill Russell.
It's Bill Russell?
Yeah.
Wow, because Bill Russell played for a long time. Yeah, Bill Russell. Okay. Oh, you coming with these heavy hitters? You coming with the heavy hitters? All right. This is just age of basketball now. I'm like tapping into old knowledge.
Alrighty. Number 3.
Okay.
Alright, my bad. LeBron James has lost how many NBA Finals games in his career?
Final games?
Yeah, NBA Finals games.
Oh, wow, that's a great question. Well, how many finals has he lost? Oh, well, you're even including the finals he won, huh? Like,
Yeah,
even
so
the finals he won,
how many has he
lost?
lost total during the series?
I'm going to go with, I know he's had a couple where they went to game 7s. So that means he would have lost at least 3, right? I'm gonna throw out a number, and I'm going to say he's lost. Oh, and then he's lost 4 times, a couple of times, too. Wow, that might be a big number. I'm going to say 26 games.
He's lost 33 games.
33 games. I was 7 games off. I was a whole series off.
Yep.
He's lost 33 games in the finals alone.
In the finals alone, he's lost 33.
That's insane, huh?
That's crazy.
That's pretty good. You know what? I think stuff like that speaks more to like, it's kind of the Michael Jordan statement, I failed over and over and over again, and that's why I succeed. A lot of times people who are successful, they don't, like, the people looking at them don't realize how many times they actually weren't successful. Yeah. Right.
Messed up, made mistakes.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you feel a lot of times. Think about it. Think about how many free throws you miss in order to practice and become a great free throw shooter like Steph Curry. You know, he misses so many in practice and stuff, but then just to be that good during the game. So that's a life lesson. That's the life lesson for this episode 10. So man, those were great questions though. Those are great questions right there. I definitely love the trivia. When I go back and watch the videos, I enjoy the trivia because it's something that's not always talked about, you know, and then it kind of gives you a wider range understanding of the sports. So someone said we don't talk about baseball at all. I guess we could tap into it a little bit. We could tap into it. We might got to get a baseball analyst.
Next episode
on the show.
Next episode, we got
next episode or next season. So, but yeah, man. Let's dive into this. Let's dive into this Super Bowl, man. What were your thoughts on the LA Rams versus Cincinnati Bengals? I love the fact that it was a close game, man. It went down to the wire, no blowouts. How'd you enjoy the game?
I enjoyed the game. I'm actually happy. This is like the first time in a while I haven't bet on like the NFL playoffs in a while.
Wow, okay.
I would have lost a lot of money this year if I did.
Now, are you talking about on the Super Bowl game or
I'm
the whole
playoffs? I'm talking about
the
whole playoffs, but especially the Super Bowl game too, because I had the Bengals winning. Right.
We were going with the underdog.
I had Cincinnati coming out on top. If the coach didn't make a bad decision, you know.
I know a lot of people who lost a lot of money actually.
Yeah, but
a lot of people lost a lot of money on Kansas City.
Yeah.
On Kansas City, when they lost, they were losing money. People were mad.
Yeah,
then when the Niners lost, people were losing money. You know, we're in NorCal, so yeah, people were losing money. But you said you glad you didn't.
Yeah, but the game was definitely interesting.
Definitely.
It was good. It was a good game all around. Jalen Ramsey was getting beat a lot.
Okay.
But, what you would say? The last play, they were like 4th and 1. I feel like they should have tried to run it on 3rd and 1.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
And they tried to run it on 4th and 1.
They went 5 out on 4th and 1. They went 5 out, so they had no running back in the backfield.
Wow.
But, I mean,
1 yard?
Yeah, 1 yard. I wouldn't go 5 out, but I mean, it was a good game. They definitely put up a fight.
Mm-hmm. They were winning. They were winning down to the.
They were winning down to like 2
the
minutes
last
left.
5 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you think that they just got? Did Cincinnati? Did they lose the game because of like rookie experience, or did LA Rams just really beat them fair and square?
I feel like they really just got beat.
You think they just got beat?
And then I would say
they gave their best.
Yeah, Joe Burrow also, like if you go back and look at the highlights, he missed a couple of reads that he could have had.
Okay.
During that drive, but I mean, he's still a young quarterback. It's like his 2nd year in the league.
Yeah, definitely.
And he got hurt last year. He tore his ACL.
Did he even play last year?
He played, but he tore his ACL like mid-season. So. Okay.
Right.
Yeah,
and then he came back from the ACL injury, took his team all the way past the Chiefs. Got past, Bowl, to the Super Bowl, and then you were only a few minutes away from winning the Super Bowl. Yeah, so it's a big shout out to him. I know the city of LA is happy they got that championship win.
Happy for OBJ
in
too.
LA. I am. OBJ. I am happy for Odell
because he got hurt mid-game too.
Got his ring though. He's all good now. Yeah. And you said Jalen Ramsey got beat a lot.
Oh yeah, he was getting beat. Jamar Chase, and then
he was just gone.
I was ready too, cause you know, I'm a Seahawks fan, and DK Metcalf always been locked up by Jalen Ramsey. So I was like, you know what? Next time Jalen Ramsey getting crossed up and stuff, I'm gonna be ready for it.
Okay.
They won the game though, so I can't really like do anything. But
right.
It was definitely a good game.
Right.
What are your thoughts on Matthew Stafford? Like he switched over to the LA Rams, and they won.
He switched over to the LA Rams and they won.
From Detroit. So.
Yeah, that's sometimes the setting that you're in. You need to be in a different setting.
Right.
And a different setting. Like, certain people, you see this a lot of times when they get traded. They're just in an environment that's not going to let them win.
It's not good for them.
Yeah, because Detroit was kind of a laughing stock. People just been laughing at Detroit and the Chicago Bears. People been like, man, they're not going nowhere.
Right.
And then it's like, you know, you go to another team and you go straight to the championship. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't this person was the problem. That reminds me of Kawhi Leonard when he left San Antonio. He went to Toronto and won the championship. I was like, oh, he wasn't the problem in San Antonio. He actually was the solution.
They were blaming him,
Right. So yeah, that's interesting. Now they love him in LA, huh? Matthew Stafford. They
love him.
They love him. I mean,
Want
he's the
him back
man.
next year.
Oh, they trying to give him contracts and everything. How old is he? He's mid 30s.
He's up there, yeah.
Mid 30s. So yeah, he's towards that veteran status of quarterback now. So I think he came in the league like 2010 or so, 2009 or so.
Yes.
Been a while. So, but that's amazing. I'm glad it was a close game. I enjoyed that. A lot of people enjoyed the halftime show. A lot of people were, especially on the West Coast, they were just like, man, that was a West Coast All-Star halftime show and everything. People enjoyed it.
Had the LA artists in LA.
LA artists. And I guess you did have some New York artists too. I guess you did. But you just, it was led by the LA artists. They had that presence, and then it being in LA as well was like, okay, this is West Coast.
Hyped.
Yes, this is West Coast right here. So that was amazing right there. Yeah, it's a good game. It was a good game. Sometimes those Super Bowl games, man, even sometimes like a NCAA March Madness college final basketball game, it's blowouts. It's not even close. So when it's within one score of a game, that's a great Super Bowl. That's like when the Seattle Seahawks were playing and they didn't give the ball to Marshawn Lynch to run it. That was a good Super Bowl, even though it was disappointing. It was still a good Super Bowl, down to the wire, down to the last plays. That's what you want to see. You want to see the best teams go all out and compete. Everything they've put in the whole year, you want to see them give it their all at the end. So that's what we saw, man. That's what we saw. So end of this NFL season for 2022. Just looking forward into 2023 for the NFL season. Do you see the LA Rams as being contenders next year? Are they
contenders? They're definitely big contenders.
It's tough to go back to back.
It's tough. I can see them being contenders for sure.
Okay.
We got to see who he signs. Aaron Donald, he said he might retire.
Oh, wow.
A few people on the Rams said they might retire, so.
Hey, especially after they got their championship, they're like, I'm done with this now.
They're like, nothing else to play for,
Right.
Might as well get another one, though.
Right. The NFL doesn't seem like they play so much for records and stats like the way in the NBA that people want to hit certain milestones or whatnot. I'm sure they do in the NFL. You don't hear about it as much. In the NFL, it seems like the Super Bowl is all that matters.
Yeah, the NFL, unless you're like a quarterback or whatnot, you don't really care about the numbers. Mm-hmm. Or maybe a running back, receiver.
You're like, we have a chance of going all the way.
Yeah, the defenders are more Super Bowl, like get the ring,
Right, because that's what they're going to be known for, is whether or not they got that.
Yeah.
So that's interesting stuff. I say going into next year for the 2022-2023 NFL season, you're always going to have the Kansas City Chiefs. I think the LA Rams are going to be a good team next year because when you come off of a Super Bowl and you have the city in a new arena like that, now you have everybody around wanting to play with the Rams now. They're like, hey, that's a team to play for. That's a city. LA's already a city people want to come out to. So I see them being a solid team next year and kind of building on their success from this year.
Real quick, what do you think about Aaron Rodgers? Because
is he retiring?
There's just talks all around that he wants to retire. Then there's talks that he wants to leave the team. Then there's talks he wants to stay with the team. But you remember the loss. How do you think he'll be on Green Bay next year, or he'll leave?
If he doesn't go to Green Bay, do you think teams will want him?
Teams will definitely want him.
Teams will want him. Well, if he's kind of talking mess about Green Bay right now, I don't see him being in Green Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you feel any type of way about Green Bay.
He talked about the organization.
Yeah.
Right. So
he's frustrated. He hasn't won a championship with them in years.
Like 10 years.
Yeah. And a lot of people felt like they should have had a couple more. A lot of people felt like they could have, but he hasn't had the best team around him.
Matthew Stafford has as much rings as him. He has one ring too.
Wow. But I know Aaron Rodgers has been to the Super Bowl at least twice.
Yeah, and
it might have been 3 times, but I know at least twice.
He got the MVP this year too.
So he won MVP.
Yeah. So he probably gonna leave.
Now where would he go? What team would he play for? Is he looking to play with a team with some great receivers?
Talks. I saw something on the 49ers.
Does he want to go to Tampa Bay and replace Tom Brady?
I don't know. Here's the thing. Aaron Rodgers, I don't know with his play which teams he would go good with. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He could definitely fit on a team though.
Yeah. I see Aaron Rodgers. I could see him moving on the same way Tom Brady did towards the end of your career. Either you're going to finish with that team, but if you're going to finish with a team, you don't want to finish with any type of bad blood or anything.
Yeah, you don't want to be in the
it's like, let me
rebuilding
go.
process. Yeah.
Like, we've won a championship together. It's been a good long marriage, 10, 12 years, more than that for him. But you know, it's time to go.
Mhm.
It's time to go. It's time for me to do what I need to do. And he's gonna want to go somewhere where he can see himself winning a championship.
Mhm.
You know, and maybe just wants to feel. Sometimes when you're a great player, you want to feel something different that will motivate you and challenge you. You know,
Yeah.
I think Tom Brady felt that with going to Tampa Bay. Like, hey, everyone's saying I'm winning with Belichick. Let me go and win without Belichick.
Mhm.
So that's still crazy though. 8. I was thinking he was like 6. 8 is a lot of Super Bowls. That's a lot.
Right.
That's a lot of Super Bowls. Wow. So yeah, that's for the NFL, man. What's your any other thoughts on the NFL review of the season or thoughts looking forward to next season?
I was looking for the next season. I'm
49ers gonna be there.
I'm definitely
Seahawks gonna be there next year. Your team Seahawks, how they gonna be for
You
next
know we're
year?
gonna be there next year.
Because I mean, y'all just had a tough injury this year. Man.
I feel like-
I feel so bad for you guys.
The thing with the Seahawks is we did have a lot of injuries this year, but
who Gino? Gino.
I'm not,
Gino, he came in there that first game filling in for Russell Wilson. I was like, come on, Gino, don't let him down. Do your thing. He went in there. What did he do? He dropped the pass. He dropped the fumble. I was like, no, Gino, no.
man,
I hope he recovers. I hope he because they said they caught him drunk driving on the side of the road after the season was over. Just too much depression. I was like, brother, come on, you guys stand strong, brother.
Man,
So-
it's tough because he went out there and I was really rooting for him. And I
Right.
watched every game and he went 0 for 4.
He went 0 for 4 during that time
Yeah,
with Russell being out, and then
he
Russell
couldn't
came
win
back
the
and
game.
tried to fight his way back, but it was too. The hole was
The
too
thing
deep.
about the Seahawks is like we're literally like one game out the playoffs, despite how bad we played the whole season.
So
if Gino was able to give us like one game, we might have been able to make it. But
right, you're right.
I
You're
mean,
right.
it is what it is, man.
That first game was the key one. If he could have won the first game, you get the team confidence.
Yeah, and then going forward,
They're like, okay, yeah, we only got a few more games without Russell. Let's try to get one more. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know. But the way they lost that first game with Gino
because
out,
he had a fumble. Yeah,
he had a fun. It's like, Gino, whatever you do, don't be the reason they lose. You don't be the reason they lose.
yeah.
And then there he went. He ran, and I could tell too. Like he was moving. I said, "Oh, it's about to be bad." Next thing you know, he just hit the ground. The ball just rolled off. I was like, "Oh man!" I said, "Don't do it to him, Gino." You know, Pete Carroll was over there in the corner, just had on the sideline, had that same look on his face, just biting that gum, just eating that gum. So, man, that was crazy. That was crazy. But it was a great season. It was a great season. I'm glad that Kansas City did not win this year. I think they're going to have plenty more years at always being top. So it's going to make it interesting to know that they can be beat as a team. Because sometimes they seem invincible the way they beat teams 40 to
You guys
10.
also need to watch out for the LA Chargers too. I think Justin Herbert and them.
They're going to be a problem next
They're
year.
gonna be a problem. Yeah.
Especially that they spent this whole they're going to spend this whole season, whole off season hearing about the LA Rams.
In LA, yeah.
They're gonna be walking around LA like, who are y'all? Man, yeah, that's gonna be a big one right there.
You're gonna be like, they done forgot about them.
Let me ask you this: do you think the LA Rams would have won if they were not playing the game in LA? If the game was, let's just say the game was played in Cincinnati, would the LA Rams have still won the game? Because they definitely had the home field advantage. That could have came down to the end, yeah.
I mean, that's tough.
Because Cincinnati might not have made certain mistakes at the end.
I don't know. I feel like Cincinnati needed a little more discipline.
A little more discipline. Yeah,
Right.
you get that on your home field
How they're
sometimes.
playing, yeah.
Joe Burrow's going to be back around because
Yeah,
now he has
he's
this
back.
experience.
He has experience. Yeah, that's what happened with Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
He lost the first year.
Right.
He came back and won. So
Okay.
definitely gotta watch out for them.
Definitely, man. Definitely. So it was a great season. Glad that the season's come to an end. We're gonna see the developments that happen, and we'll keep our audience up to date with the trade deadlines that happen, the draft picks that come into the league, the different outlooks on teams. We gotta get our brother Jeremiah back on here for a football analyst too. You know, when there's some trades that happen in the off season, we'll have to get Jeremiah back on here for that off season analyst So man, let's talk a little bit of these NBA trade talks. You want to get into that right now?
Let's get into it.
Man, there were some big trades that happened in the NBA. Y'all know the NBA. That's my sport right there. So first of all, we had your Kings trade. They had to boot some people up out of there, and they got Sabonis in Sacramento. And Sabonis actually, man,
He's a good player.
he's a
He's very
solid player, an all-star. As a matter of fact, I think he's the only
a
Kings
big.
player on the team right now who's been an all-star before.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure he's the only one who's been an all-star before. Maybe Harrison Barnes has, but definitely he has. So that's an amazing thing. I think they're still out of the playoffs or play-ins right now. They hit a streak where they just lost so many games, man, and it's like it's tough to recover from that. But
Well,
sometimes
yeah.
you have a trade, and the trade helps.
We're only a few games out of the playoffs.
Only a few, only
Yeah,
like a couple,
like
really.
3 games out of the playoffs.
Yeah, it could easily change.
Yeah.
Just San Antonio up there, Portland up there, that could easily change.
Portland, yeah.
So, but Sacramento's got to believe, man. But the real big trades that happened was definitely Brooklyn and Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Tell them who the trade was. Who went to Philadelphia?
Who went to Brooklyn?
Yeah, who?
So, Andre Drummond,
And
Seth Curry, and
Ben Simmons all went to
Yeah.
Brooklyn,
They went to Brooklyn.
and then Philadelphia got James Harden.
Mm-hmm. A few round picks.
They sent somebody else with James Harden.
They sent somebody else with James Harden.
I can't think of who it was. They sent somebody else with James Harden. Yeah, but the main changes was the James Harden and the Ben Simmons. Those were the main changes. I guess for me personally, I didn't know that James Harden was trying to leave. I could tell that he wasn't playing the best, but I didn't know that it was that big of a deal where he's like, I don't want to be in Brooklyn no more. I
Yeah,
want
it
to
was.
leave. Like he's leaving a lot of teams, and I'm kind of, I'm all for independence and freedom and doing what you do. It just seems like the way he leaves teams is kind of, he just gives up on a team. He's like, I don't even want to finish the season with y'all. Like that's how he did Houston.
Do you think it was because of Kyrie and him not getting vaccinated and being able to play? Because that's what it sounded like.
That's all I could think of.
Because it sounded like
You're not mad at Kevin Durant,
Yeah,
like you know what I'm
'cause
saying. They're friends. They're all good.
the
So
media was talking to James Harden or Brooklyn Nets, the teammates around Harden,
hmm
and the reaction and the vibe they was getting was like, hey, the last month James Harden hasn't been like fully
Yeah.
committed, showing up late to practices and
Okay.
stuff like that.
Okay.
Basically, ever since Kyrie came back. So
yeah.
I mean, it could have been
Ever
that.
since Kyrie came back, now that's interesting.
It could have been that, or
I haven't heard Kyrie say anything really about it.
But my thing with Harden is if he's trying to win, I don't understand why he would go to Philly. I don't understand.
I
that
didn't
move.
get that either. I didn't
Yeah.
get that either. I don't get how much better they are.
That
in
makes
Brooklyn.
that makes Brooklyn better. Because
Yeah.
Ben Simmons gonna get size. I'm sure he can shoot a little bit.
And then I mean, is Philadelphia really going to win the championship this year? I don't think so.
I don't see him.
I do not see in the league right now a big man leading a team to a championship. It's just a whole different. It's a whole. When's the last time a big man led a team to the championship? Yeah.
Yeah.
A big man really like leading a team to a championship. That's kind of like, I mean, I'm personally I'm thinking back to Shaq. That's like
Yeah.
the last time I can think of.
I mean, maybe Giannis. He's
Okay, Giannis could be
maybe.
considered, but you look at the type of player he is. He has to
Yeah,
be a
he-
type of player where he's moving around, and they literally had to have a whole squad around him. Philadelphia doesn't have that whole squad, man. They do have Tobias, they have Thibault,
Yeah.
but they don't have enough of a squad to
have
really. I don't even
role
think.
players and
I
stuff.
don't think they'll beat Milwaukee.
Yeah, I don't even think we'll beat them.
I don't think they'll beat Milwaukee. I think Milwaukee would still get them because you're gonna still have Drew Holiday. You still gonna have man. They
Chris
don't have
Middleton.
PJ Tucker. They need PJ Tucker. I wish they would have kept PJ Tucker, but
Watch out for Miami.
and now look at Miami. Miami's up there, the
Miami.
number one spot. So yeah, you definitely feel like the trade made Brooklyn better.
Oh, it definitely did.
Okay.
Ben
Yeah.
Simmons, that just hurts Philly.
Yeah. And the
James
thing
Harden
is, Ben
also-
Simmons is gonna come back and play now.
Yeah.
So
and
Philly didn't have that choice. They didn't even have Ben Simmons playing.
He wasn't even playing.
He wasn't even playing, so they were, they've been doing pretty good without him even playing. And now it's like they actually have a star who's gonna play with Joel Embiid. So
Ben
we gonna
Simmons, Ben Simmons wasn't even playing with Philly, and James Harden, he's actually has a really good relationship with the Philly GM or whatnot.
Okay. From Houston, right? Weren't they from Houston? Wasn't he from Houston or so? Daryl
I think
Morey
so,
was
yeah.
in Houston.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
And then I think he went over there to Philadelphia. I just think Philadelphia's been trusting the process too long. I mean, they've been trusting the process since I was, man, I think early 20s, man. they were talking about that process for a while. I'm starting to wonder if they still in that same process, or did they start a new process, or what are they doing? So if Philadelphia doesn't win the championship this year, I don't see it being a smooth. I don't know. I see James Harden leaving again or something. But at least they got somebody to play with. They probably just had to get somebody for Joel Embiid because he's balling out. He's an MVP candidate.
Help, yeah.
Yeah, he's an MVP candidate. Maybe James Harden felt like he wasn't going to have the basketball enough or something. I have no idea what all that was about.
Between all three of them, like Kevin Durant, Kyrie, James Harden, they only played 13 games together.
Yeah.
They went 13-3, but they only they were never on the court together really. So
I would love to see them play each other at some point in the playoffs, Philadelphia.
I want to see Ben Simmons ball out though. Everyone been hating on him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I want to see him do his little thing.
You know what's interesting to me? We'll talk on this for a second. What's real interesting to me is at the beginning of this NBA season, there were two players everybody was talking mess about: Ben Simmons and Kyrie Irving, and both of them were like, "Oh, Ben Simmons, he's gonna end up playing. He ain't gonna have a choice. He gonna end up playing. Kyrie, he gonna end up taking that shot." Ben Simmons got what he wanted. Kyrie Irving got what he wanted.
Yeah.
They stood in there strong to the end and got what they wanted.
We ain't got nothing to say now.
Ben Simmons got that trade. He didn't step foot on the Philly court at all this season and got that trade. Kyrie did not step foot in that doctor's office and got to play. So, you know, they just stood strong on their thing. As I said, I really believe with Ben Simmons there was something going on with the money, and I think they downplay that. I think they downplay the fact that Philadelphia didn't pay him something.
Apparently he wasn't getting paid too.
Yeah.
Like, he was supposed to be getting paid during the summer and like he didn't get paid.
Yeah. And I really believe the mainstream media leaves that part out because it don't matter who you're talking to. If you're just talking about $10, if you promised you were going to pay somebody $10 after they worked for you and you didn't pay them, I have no reason to respect anything with you at the end of the day now. That's
so
how I feel.
Then he wanted out, and that looks bad on the organization.
Yeah.
He wanted to trade.
It looks like they don't know how to figure stuff out.
They didn't even want to trade him.
And then they were talking about he'll play. He'll come around to playing.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to trade him. I had no intention of trading him 5 months later. Yeah, now you're not even paying this guy.
My thing with Philly was, why would Ben Simmons want to come back and play when you have the leader on the team, Joel Embiid, saying Ben Simmons was the reason why they lost.
Right.
It's like, I wouldn't want to come play for y'all.
And you know, another thing that Philadelphia got to do better is Ben Simmons missed those free throws last year, and because he missed those free throws, you had Doc Rivers on TV talking about him, Joel Embiid talking about him, and Philly didn't really back him. They kind of felt like Ben Simmons
Also, that layup he didn't take.
The layup he didn't take, in which I thought it was real bad. I thought like that whole game was real bad. I was like, man, he doesn't want to shoot. He's scared to shoot.
But
it was bad, but you don't isolate a star like that to the point where now he don't even want to play with y'all no more, and now y'all sitting there looking bad the next year. They needed him this year.
He probably didn't feel comfortable to shoot because of the confidence of the teammates.
Yes,
so
his team didn't have no confidence in him. Like some people, if you miss a shot, they're like, "No, keep shooting."
Yeah.
They probably were mad at him. So, yeah, it definitely was some friction there. It's tough for guys also who are used to being the number one player. Like when he was at LSU in high school, he's number one players, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to a team and there's someone else who's the number one player, and you're like considered. You have to move around them and build your style of play around theirs. That's something that's probably different for Ben Simmons. He probably don't mind doing it with Durant and Kyrie. You know, those people who play more like him, I think. So it'll work out.
He's more of a slasher too.
Yeah.
He's able to get inside, more height.
Does he play point guard in Philadelphia over Kyrie?
You mean Brooklyn?
In Brooklyn, yes. Do you give him the point guard position over Kyrie? Because Kyrie's good at off the ball too.
He's definitely gonna move.
Yeah, they probably switch it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Because whoever's guarding either one of them, it's not the point guard. You know, if it's Kyrie, if he got a point guard on him, then they're not going to be used to Ben Simmons having the point guard bring the ball up the court. You know, it's going to throw things off for people. Then Durant can bring the ball up the court too.
Yeah. So.
And And they got Drummond. I've always liked Drummond.
They also
He
have
was in
Seth,
Detroit.
Seth Curry too.
And they got Seth. Yeah, that.
I mean,
Seth might be the reason. Y'all mark my words. Seth might be the one who hits the three that changes the series of the game. And Patty, they still got Patty Mills. They still got Patty.
You know the Nets just came back from a 28-point lead like Wednesday night.
Okay.
So,
Okay. I heard about it. I didn't see the highlights, but I heard about that. They were down by 28 to who?
The New York Knicks.
How were they down by 28 to New York?
I don't know. It's
Julius
the first game
Randle,
back.
man?
First game
28.
back. Stephen A. Smith was mad, man.
I bet he was. I bet he was.
He's always mad.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's funny. Real quick, what do you think about LA, Anthony Davis getting hurt? Now the media's talking about they should have traded Anthony Davis. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you just gotta ride and die with the players you put on your roster. When you decide on a team, you gotta ride and die with them. If Anthony Davis keeps getting hurt, ride and die with him. Don't. Oh, now he's hurt. They should have done this. They were just talking about trading Westbrook. Now they're back with Westbrook. Now they need Westbrook because they don't got Anthony Davis. Yeah. Then I'm like, man, if y'all don't figure this thing out, LA fans are hard too. They hard on them.
At this point, you gotta look to the coaching staff now.
They don't like they haven't figured it out.
They put on everyone but Frank Vogel.
You're right about that. You're right about that.
He's the one who's been getting backed up by the media a lot.
You're right.
I'm saying you got 3 superstars like that, you gotta figure something out.
Oh, he got more than 3 superstars. He got former All-Stars. He got future Hall of Famers.
Hall of Famers.
He had Dwight Howard and
he had Rondo.
They
traded him.
They traded quite a few good people. They traded my other man. Is it Tucker? Did they trade Horton? They traded one of those guys from the Lakers.
I just feel like they have so many good players on the team.
Mm-hmm.
He's not using them at all.
They still got Malik Monk.
Yeah, still got Malik Monk.
Yeah, so that's interesting, man. The Lakers might got to start looking at Frank Vogel. LeBron's playing well. I think Westbrook is playing well.
I know he's playing well. It's just
he's
obviously not going to be putting up triple doubles every night. But yeah, Frank Vogel, like he looked like he was scared to lose his job early on. He was taking Westbrook out at the end of the fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was just
that's not good.
But Anthony Davis being out, man,
it's gonna hurt him again.
It's gonna hurt.
But I think that's a sign because he just got back.
He's injury prone.
He just got back and then left. Yeah. And I think at this point you got to start looking at his career.
You know what they said? He's made of glass.
They said he's made of glass.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, I think this year he's already gotten hurt 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Like Anthony Davis out. Anthony Davis out. Anthony Davis out.
He came back for like 3 to 4 games out again.
Is he coming back too early?
I don't know.
Are they putting him back out there when he's not really healthy yet? He needs to pull a Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard just sitting back chilling, watching all them come back, go, come back, go, come back, go.
He's sitting out the whole year, man.
Yeah, Kawhi is good.
He's funny.
Kawhi is good. So, was there another NBA trade that happened other than that one? I feel like there was one more we wanted to touch on.
Kristaps Porzingis.
That one shocked me. I didn't see that one coming because they sent him to
Washington.
They sent him to the Wizards. I said, that's cold, man. That's cold. They sent him. They took him off of a playoff team and took him to a team who the Wizards. They're trying to make the play-ins, but Bradley Beal just ended the season on a wrist injury.
Yeah.
And Kristaps, I thought he was doing cool in Dallas. I didn't realize they must have wanted to move that piece to get something else around Luka, or him and Luka weren't working together well. Maybe what
I think that's what it was. Yeah.
Because I was like, they traded Kristaps and they didn't really get nobody back for him either. I mean, they got like I think it was Dren. Was it Dren? What's the dude's name?
Spencer Dinwiddie.
Yeah, Spencer.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got him, and I'm like, okay, for Kristaps. Like Kristaps is a nice player. Kristaps is a nice player, man.
Got the better end of that deal.
What's your take right now on the MVP race, man? And we I know we just we
yeah.
chopping it up, man. We chopping it up today. This is episode 10. We bringing this to a completion. This is a wonderful thing.
MVP, I'm gonna go right now. It's Steph Curry.
Oh, we going with Steph
or Giannis.
Or Giannis. I can feel that.
I gotta split it between them. What about you?
Okay. Right now, I would have to say that the MVP. Man. It's tough. I might have to go Giannis, but I like Ja Morant. I like Ja Morant because Nobody was expecting Memphis to be number 3. Nobody was expecting Memphis to be number 3, and I think he's the most valuable player to his team. If you take him off of that Memphis team, they're not number 3. They're probably not even in the playoffs. He's the spark that has gotten them everything.
Yeah.
If I'm not going with him, Giannis is big because he's a valuable player to his team. But I also would have to mention, I would have to honorable mention. Who was I about to say? I drew a blank. Who was I about to say? Honorable mention to.
John Morant.
I said John Morant.
Giannis.
Giannis. Honorable mention
Curry.
to Embiid. Joel Embiid,
Yeah.
because he played this season without Ben Simmons.
Mm-hmm.
He's been balling out number wise. Like his numbers are real solid.
Yeah.
And I'd have to give it to. I'd have to give that to him because I mean they're still in the playoffs. They've never been out of the playoffs. They're up there, and so honorable mention to him. I struggle with giving it to him because even though he wins, even though he's good, it just doesn't seem like the team's such a threat.
Yeah.
You know how there's like a championship team that's a threat, like you scared to play them. I don't think people feel that way when they play Philly.
So yeah, so with the trades, with all the trades, Ben Simmons, James Harden, does your 2 teams in the Eastern Conference change?
And Miami's number 1 right now
Yeah.
too. That's a very because that changes who you play 1st. You know that changes who you play 1st and 2nd, and who ends up in the conference finals. Miami probably will let other people just knock each other off, and then they'll sit back and play the winner. I think Brooklyn still has the chance to go all the way. I think it's Brooklyn and Milwaukee, but the way the standings might be set up, they might have to play each other before the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
Which that would be crazy, because then you still got Miami out there, you still got Philly out there.
You don't think Philly could take Milwaukee?
No, I don't think Philly would beat Milwaukee. I don't think Philly would beat Milwaukee. Man, and I like Doc Rivers as a coach too, but it would be a great series. It's going to be a great series to see this Eastern Conference. I'm never this excited for the Eastern Conference.
I definitely got Brooklyn too, because Ben Simmons is a good defender. Like he'll lock you down, so he can lock Harden down.
He can.
Joel Embiid, Curry. You know what I'm saying? Giannis, I say can lock him down.
Right.
So it's gonna be a good game. You know,
it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be good.
Now, what if you had Brooklyn and Golden State Warriors, and you had the 2 Curry brothers play each other?
I thought about that.
That could very well happen. Brooklyn could, and then you got Kevin Durant going versus his former team, and Draymond Green and all them. Clay is back too.
Clay's been balling out, man.
You would have Ben Simmons having to guard like, he would have to guard like Clay, and then Kyrie would be with Curry. Then Durant would have to be with like.
But the thing about the Warriors is they play off ball.
They do play off ball.
You can put Ben Simmons on Curry or Clay, but they're just gonna set screens and stuff to get them off.
You're right. So they would have to switch screens. I think the thing about the Warriors that no other team really has, maybe Phoenix has it, Milwaukee has it to an extent, is just the tightness of the unit. Like Golden State's a very tight unit.
Yeah.
You can tell by the way they play that they hang out with each other away from the basketball court. Draymond, Andre, Clay, Steph, that's the core unit of the team right there. They're good. You know what I'm saying? They're like this. So it shows so differently versus a team like Brooklyn right now. They're trying to figure out what it's going to be. Who's going to have the ball at the end? Who do we go to for this or that? They're trying to figure it out, and it might take them some time to figure that out. I don't know. You know, by the playoffs, are they going to have that all figured out? Because Golden State will. Golden State, everybody knows their role in Golden State pretty much. Especially even Clay came back and, you know, that didn't shake things up too much except for Jordan Poole. But they're going to be all right. So I'm thinking in the East right now, Miami's number 1 record. They've been good. I love Jimmy Butler. They're not going to the finals. They're not going to pass Philly, Milwaukee, and Brooklyn.
None of them.
Unless Philly, Milwaukee, and Brooklyn knock each other out. And then Miami only has to play one of them.
I could see. Here's the thing.
And they got PJ Tucker. Remember, you know I like PJ Tucker.
I can see Miami. I can see them beating Philly.
I could see them beating Philly.
Because they have PJ Tucker. That's the only reason I say it. But
and he used to play with Harden in Houston too.
He used to play.
And he's a champion now.
But I agree with you. They're not beating
all these guys.
Milwaukee.
No, because remember they got swept by Milwaukee last year. they had a realization moment. They had like a wake up moment, like, whoa, we're not as good as we thought.
Yeah.
Back to Miami.
So the East, we got what, Milwaukee, Philly, and
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, yeah. And
Yeah,
then
those would
in
have
the
to
West,
be the ones.
the top three teams I'm watching is the Suns,
Yeah, man.
the Lakers, and the Warriors.
Do you think the Suns, the Lakers, and the Warriors? Okay, not Memphis.
I don't have Memphis.
You don't have Memphis. Okay,
No.
I think Memphis is going to be surprising a lot of people because they're so young. They have so much energy that it's going to be tough for a team to calm that energy down. Like
Right.
no matter how skilled you are, even the Warriors, they have so much energy. Now that's also what kills them is their energy because they're moving so fast. They make a mistake, a turnover. They're up by 20 now. They're only up by 5.
Right.
So that kills them. But it's going to be tough for a team to beat them because there's so much energy you have to just hold down and say, like, y'all not about to be running us up and down the court like that. Because every time Memphis gets the ball, they're ready to run. All of them. The big men down to John Morant, they all run it and they can throw alleys from half court. So if you're not back, you about to get
They're about to get ran.
top 10.
Yeah.
You know, they're about to top 10 you. So it's real interesting watching them play. Exciting though. It's gonna be an exciting playoffs though, for real. And I think a lot of our S&J season 2, we're gonna talk a lot. We're gonna be a lot involved into the NBA playoffs and talking about the playoff runs that are going on. We only got I think we have till end of March for the
Yeah.
playoffs. End of
Around
March, maybe
then,
April.
yeah.
So we about 1.5, 2 months away from the NBA playoffs, y'all. And we're gonna be covering that heavy. I think we're gonna be trying to do some live streams for those games, do some live commentaries for those games in the NBA playoffs. So definitely be subscribing on this channel here. Definitely make sure you stay up to date and follow us on Instagram as well. S&J Sports
S&J
Talk.
Sports Talk, yeah.
S&J Sports Talk on Instagram. We'll be posting on there even in between the seasons. But yeah, this is going to be a great NBA playoffs. It was a great NFL season review, great NFL year. Just a great time for sports in general.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people going through stressful situations and they're able to tune in to some entertainment, and that's really good. You know, I personally think so. Yeah, man. I think you were mentioning 3 teams you thought about in the NBA. Phoenix could surprise somebody. I was going to ask you, do you think Phoenix could get to the finals again this year?
Yes.
I do too.
I was yeah, definitely.
Because they're the number 1 seed. They're going to be number 1.
I would say they can get to the finals over Golden State too.
Okay.
I would say like if they ran to Golden State, because the way they're playing right now, man, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, they've only lost 10 games. I think they've had.
Chris Paul, Devin Booker.
Mm-hmm.
My only concern with them would be Chris Paul and Devin Booker.
Really?
Because, yeah, it's tough because for a team like that, it's like if Devin Booker isn't on fire or whatnot,
Changes
it's
the game
kind,
plan.
It's kind of like the whole other team's not on fire too.
Okay.
You know, it's kind of like John Morant, but
Okay.
it's like when Devin Booker is on fire, the other players play way better and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I think they learned a lot from last year's loss in the
Yeah.
finals. That hurt Devin Booker a lot. And I think he can come back this playoffs with some vengeance.
I think he is.
And being the number 1 seed, they wouldn't have to play the Warriors to the conference finals.
They would play all the weak teams first.
They would play the weaker team. Not saying that the other teams couldn't get them, but you don't have to even see the Warriors till the conference finals. I don't think they're concerned about nobody else.
So,
really. I don't think they're concerned about like Denver or Dallas or anything like that.
Real
Fort
quick,
Worth.
you said you have the Grizzlies team to watch out for. You think they would beat the Suns right now?
They could beat the Suns. They definitely could beat the Suns. The Suns got that nice record. Don't get me wrong. They got that nice record, but in the playoffs, it's not about records.
Right, right.
In the playoffs, it's about energy and willpower. And I think Memphis has like they're just in a unique position because a lot of the guys on Memphis, you really don't know who they are. You're just learning who they are. And so they're kind of like no-name guys, some from college. They're young, 21, 22, and they playing for their neighborhoods and their family and friends, and they're like, we're going all out. So they don't know what they can't do. You know what I'm saying? Now, Phoenix, they just got a system down that's on point, man. But right,
coaching too.
yeah, they do have the good coaching, and they coming off of a championship run. They were title, appearance. So I'm gonna say those final 2 teams in the West, though, I don't think the Lakers are gonna make it. They got a chance, They got a chance to make it to the
Lakers
finals.
make it?
It's just, if I'm looking at what their path is going to be, they're going to have to play all these teams from the top. Like every round, and I don't think they're going to be able to do all of that. If they all stay healthy, they got a chance, but it's going to be tough, man. I think I'm going to have to give it to the I think it's going to come down to the Warriors being at the end. And oh man, see Memphis comes into the Warriors, they're not beating the Warriors. That's the team I know they would not beat is the Warriors. Not with the Warriors healthy. And Draymond Green. They need Draymond playing.
They need Draymond playing.
Because without Draymond, there's a certain toughness that's not on the Warriors.
I'll say this though. I feel like the Lakers, they will figure things out before the playoffs.
Okay.
Like
Yeah, LeBron.
If you let LeBron, Westbrook, and all of them just continue to play, I feel like they'll figure things out. That's why I still have them up there in the top.
Okay.
If they figure things out,
they have the talent already. Is what you're saying. The talent's there. Already. Just the chemistry is what they're trying to figure out.
If they figure that out, man, they're dangerous.
You're right. You're right about that, man. I agree with you on that one.
Don't give up on the Lakers, man.
Don't give up. So right now, at this point, at All-Star break weekend, who do you have coming out of the West? Just like if you could say one of those three teams that you picked, who's coming out of the West?
The West. I'm gonna go with Golden State.
That's what I'm with too. And at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, and I know you put Steph as MVP. The one thing Steph has going for him for MVP is the fact that wasn't nobody expecting the Warriors to be this good, but also he has that 3-point record this year, which was an amazing record.
Yeah.
So yeah,
he's only breaking it too.
Every game.
He's only going higher.
Every single game he's breaking that thing, man. And you see him hit a three, it's like, man, I gotta go even that much further for the record. And just to think that there was a time when no one thought anybody would even break Ray Allen's, or when Ray Allen passed Reggie Miller, people thought like Reggie Miller's wasn't gonna be broken. Then Ray Allen passed it, and now it's like Steph is like buying on both of y'all. Like, that's crazy, man. So yeah, S&J Sports Talk Show. This is season 10, which means that we're rolling and we still going. Is this the end of the season, or we got one or two more before the end of the season?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a couple more episodes coming your way before the end of this season. One or two more. We're gonna do some finales, and that's why we definitely went a little bit longer this time. We haven't been on here with y'all for a while. We still working on building up the Sports Talk Show, but we appreciate y'all because y'all have been giving us so many suggestions. Y'all have been so supportive. Y'all have been talking about so many things. A lot of y'all said talk a little bit more about life issues in between with the sports. And I know when we started the Sports Talk Show, we were talking about how we would get annoyed listening to like ESPN, and they're always talking about life issues, but from their perspective. So when we talk about life issues, we'll talk about it from our perspective and how we view it. If you want ESPN's perspective, you can go watch ESPN. You can go watch Fox Sports. But this is S&J, so we're gonna give you our perspective on a lot of what happens in sports as young men, as young black men. We're gonna give you a lot of our perspective on that. So we appreciate the feedback that we've been getting from you. We appreciate y'all tuning in and sharing the videos and sending them out to your friends and letting people know. So we up out of here. Peace, y'all.